the manuscript format requirement. So just in case you're having any trouble, you can watch this in just a minute. You'll have your document set up exactly as you need to for the outline piece of your process essay assignment. So if you look at my screen, you'll see that we have it all set up in a Word document. It's nice and open. If your Word document defaults to the font that's Calibri instead of Times New Roman, you're going to have to change that. So right in the upper left-hand corner of my screen, yours may be a little bit different, but mine is right over here, upper left, and I'm going to make that change from Calibri font to Times New Roman. Scroll all the way down. All the way down. It's alphabetical, of course. And there it is. I'm going to make it Times New Roman, and it defaulted to 11, so I've got to change that to 12. I also have to change my margins and spacing. Remember that your margins have to be 1 inch, so I'm going to go up to Layout and just make sure that all my margins are 1 inch, which they are, so that's fantastic. But now I have to make sure that everything is double spaced perfectly. So I'm going to go up to Line Spacing Options, which is right over here. Even though you may say that it's double spaced, or your document may say that it's double spaced, you may have to make sure that these spacing before and after are both 0, and then make sure that your line spacing is double. Click OK, and you should be good to go. Now there's one more thing that you're going to do, and that's to insert a header on every page. So you're going to insert a page number. Okay. Mine may look a little bit different from yours, but basically where you want your page number is in the upper right-hand corner. Okay, so it's going to go right up there. Once you do that, that number is going to show up on every page, and it's going to change from page to page, which is exactly what you want. However, in addition to having the number, you also need to have your last name. So what you need to do, and again, yours may look a little bit different from this, but what you need to do is edit your header so that you also insert your last name. Make sure that it is right aligned so that it goes with the number over here. Oops. I'm going to put my last name. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to put Dorcas Nerdlington's last name. Make sure that all of this header information is in the correct font. It's Times New Roman, because it will default to something different, and you want to make sure that that matches. Okay? So I'm in Times New Roman. I'm okay. I'm going to go ahead and close. So now this is going to appear on every page. Now I also need to include a heading, which is student's name, instructor's name, the course name, and then the date. And today is September 24th. Okay? You're also going to have a title. This is my process essay outline. And that title is going to be centered. So I'm going to make sure that that's centered. Now, there are a few things at the beginning of your outline that I need you to include. One of them is your POGAC, specifically your purpose. Okay? But I want you to include the other elements of your POGAC. Purpose, occasion, genre, audience, context. And then finally, at the very top of your outline, before you begin your outline, you're going to include your thesis statement. If you guys remember my thesis statement from our in-class activity, it was that commuting in the morning, oops, I should spell it correctly though, requires that I be active physically, mentally, and socially. Okay, so there's my thesis statement. After that, you're going to start to outline. So you may begin with your introductory paragraph. You may decide that you're going to put that in some kind of a list format. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to make sure that it's a list. What should I do? I'll do this one. Okay, so there's my list. Now I don't quite know how I'm going to start my paper yet, so I'm just going to leave that as the first point. Then I'm going to have my major detail from my thesis, which is physically active. I'm going to have my next paragraph, and that is mentally active. And my third body paragraph, which is socially active. And notice how all of my phrasing is parallel. I'm using parallel language. And then I'm going to have my conclusion. Okay. Now, of course, you can't stop here. This is not really an outline. This is just a list of 5 things. So I'm going to start to fill in my major details and minor details. So I have major detail. For this one, it's walking to the bus stop. And then I'm going to have a minor detail, minor detail. My next major detail is climbing the stairs at the train station. Okay, so you see that I'm following my process, but these are all supporting, at least in this particular paragraph, how I am being physically active. Okay, and then I'm going to continue doing this for my next body paragraphs, mentally active as well as socially active. And that is how I need your manuscript and your outline to be set up.